true authenticity is valued. Like, and if authenticity is not valued where you're at, then you don't need to be there. You know, we're not all meant to be exactly the same. God created each of us different for a reason. God gave us each talents and skills, or gave us the ability to develop skills so that we can go our own direction, not so that we can all go the same direction. If we were all the same, this world would not operate the way that it needed to.
Well, it would be silly.
Yeah.
It would be silly to let off the gas.
Literally.
So much momentum.
You guys have
So let's take 3 years, right? Let's take 3 years of what we've learned, and let's just flush it down the toilet. Oh, it's okay. It's hard times. Let's cower into a ball and let's feel sorry for ourselves.
Let's just go backwards to go forward. So let's talk about where this all started. So, let's talk about how we met first. Like that was.
You stalked me.
That was like 7.5 years ago, right?
So 7.5 years ago, I was, and I'll just be honest on this, I was a playboy.
I'm gonna plug a little bit, First Form. Right
By the
there.
way, Beverly and Robin, Social Grenade, and then American AF, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what this podcast and everything's going to be about. This will be the real, raw, unedited. If you guys are little sissies, if you don't want to hear the truth, see, here's the issue right now. A lot of people on social media, which we found out probably in the past 3 years, y'all are fake. Like, you are fake. Oh, you have the Lambo, you have the car, you have the watches. No, you don't. No, you don't. You rent it in order to look great. You won't see this on this podcast. I'm telling you right now, if something's not real, we won't talk about it. And we may actually, if we get squirrely enough, we may call a couple of you out. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if I come up with a mic and be like, hey, tell me about your McLaren. What happened to it? Huh, that's weird. Anyway, shameless plug. So let's go back to what you were asking. How did we meet?
How did we meet?
So, again, why we're on this podcast is social
You like
media.
bananas.
Jesus. Back in the day.
He likes bananas.
Hold on. So back in the day, I thought I was God's gift. God, there's going to be some girls watching this. If you're in Florida, I was what I believed God's gift to single moms. Single moms. Like, Florida's full of them.
Milfs.
God bless you,
Milfs.
girls.
That's
Milfs.
MILFs. He was God's gift to
Hashtags
MILFs.
MILFs. Single moms were just, that was what it was. So,
Sorry, ladies, I fucked that one up for you.
it's okay. I'm on, not Grindr, Tinder. Maybe I was on, I don't even know. I was on Tinder, I was on Plenty of Fish, I was on Bumble, which, by the way, guys, I don't even know if this app still exists anymore, but Gracie said, Bumble is the greatest thing for guys because you don't seem like a weirdo reaching out. The girl has to make the first move. So if you really want to find a really sophisticated woman, go on Bumble.
But
Anyway,
the other thing is, if you want the woman to make the first move, you don't have to do that. Just be interesting. Anyways, go ahead.
like a banana.
Like a banana. Be appealing.
So anyway, I'm on social media, and every morning I would wake up and check my DMs. For some reason, I was a hot commodity, muscles, tattoos, a beard. It was a lot longer then. I was a lot bigger. So, but then I checked Instagram, and Classy Gym Freak had like 18 of my photos in a row.
Yeah.
So, of course, I want to see what's going on. So I looked through her profile. Of course, she has the scantily clad bikini bodybuilder, just smoking hot, just fakies hanging. It was great. She had a really good photographer, which was good. So I message her and I say, "Hey, I think your finger's broken." And she responds,
I said, actually, no, I think I know you. The truth was, I didn't want to look like I was stalking him. So I had to cover that up and say, I think I know you. Where have I met you before? And he said...
So long story short, I'm still on the social media. I'm still messaging her. I'm still doing my stuff. And we kind of hit it off like a little bit. You know, I was kind of playing cat and mouse, and so was she. And it just, after a couple of days, it kind of fizzled out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Sunday, she almost blew it. Chatty Cathy over here was running her mouth. Fuck me. It's
Me?
a 26-minute...
Me?
You. It was a 26-minute drive to work. When I was in Florida, I owned a wood fire pizza restaurant. So from my front door to the pizza place was 26 minutes. She didn't take a fucking breath. I don't think I said anything. I'm like, hey, good morning, beautiful. Just talking. So I got to work at the office to go open up the restaurant. And I was like, well, that was fun. That was entertaining. And she's like, oh, did I talk the whole time? I'm like, yeah. I said, I know a lot about you now. I'm going to go ahead. I have to work all day. So kind of like, I didn't lose interest. I kind of did.
No, you did that on purpose.
Well, then things progressed. She messaged me back and she was like, maybe at least I can get a little fun out of this. And by the way, go back. This was the Friday before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and I had said to him, I said, by the way, do you like Valentine's Day? And he said, no.
No,
and
I said, hell no.
And he said, hell no. And I said, good, me neither. And I said, I don't believe that you should I don't believe there should be a holiday. Instead, you should love somebody. If you love them 365 days out of the year, not one. And
agreed.
I never liked Valentine's Day. So we messaged each other back and forth, and there was a little bit of a silence. And I said, hey, here's my number. Let's stop messaging each other and DMing. Instead, let's just text and let's have a phone conversation. When you get off work, give me a call. So it turned into a FaceTime call, which turned into a peekaboo show, which turned into, oh my gosh.
She was moving too slow. It was like there was the cleavage and there was this, so I just took things up another level because I'm a closer. And I was like, and then I just took the phone and, Yeah. And she was like, oh, wow, we're playing that game. So I said, cool, what's under the bubbles? So here's how it progressed.
I didn't show him what was under the bubbles, though. Sorry.
Okay. So she asked, what are you doing on Tuesday? It's the Valentine's Day. We go back and forth. So I drive out. I drive all the way out to Orlando because she says, I'm going to pick the place. You're going to pay. I said, we're not doing Valentine's Day. It's just, we're going to hang out. The minute she opened the door, I was like, fuck. Literally, she stood there and like, it's one of those cliche where like, you read one of those books, like my breath was literally taken away. And I was like, okay, this is not how I planned this. So we go out to her balcony. And
let's just be clear. He's getting all sentimental. He thought he was going to get a piece of ass that night.
So did you. So did you. Did you not? You're like, well, at least I'll get some Valentine's Day booty.
Yeah, for sure.
So we did our little embrace on the patio. She had a balcony in downtown, not downtown, but Orlando by the Eye. If you guys don't know where that is, it's by Universal. So we go out. She takes me to the burger place. Then I take her to Yard House. Mm-hmm. We get a little drinky up. She starts crawling in my seat. We drive back to her place. Now, here's what's crazy. I didn't close the deal. I literally got back and I said, it's 2 o'clock now, and I said, I got to go.
You didn't close the deal the way most people would have closed the deal. So
because there's, and maybe something you guys can learn, when the juice is worth the squeeze, you take your time. You look at all the angles and you figure out, if I'm going to do a quick hit, then what?
Yeah, so long story short, nothing happened that night. I wanted him to stay because it was a 2.5, 3 hour drive back. I said, no, we've both been drinking. This isn't going to happen. I'm not going to let you do this. Safety is always first. So I said, lay your keys on the counter. You can stay here. He goes, I'm not doing that because I know what's going to happen. I said, no, nothing's going to happen. Nothing happened. He stayed. Next morning, he drives out.
It could have happened if I really wanted it to. Let's just get that out of the way.
Next morning, he drives back, and he did say that he was, he was a player. So he literally calls all the girls on his way back, and he says, look, I found somebody. And then he gives me a call, and he says, go ahead.
Yeah, so there was 30. We won't
you
go
don't have to tell him the number. I mean, this is a little too
Florida,
much.
bro, guys, if you're looking for the women in Florida are, whew, man,
they just throw themselves all over.
They're
you.
bussing. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're like 10 minutes, and guys,
are you just saying women in Florida are hoes?
Bussing. They're ready to go.
That's kind of like saying it's a little bit loose.
You were a Florida girl.
Yeah, but I wasn't loose.
Oh my God, are we really? Jesus. So anyway, I make the mistake, which wasn't a mistake at that time, but I called her and I said, hey, this is probably a really bad play. I miss you. And she was like, oh my God, I miss you too. Now, progressing, when someone's in Orlando, I own a restaurant and there's another partner, so we traveled back and forth. I would travel Monday, Tuesday, come back Wednesday. She would travel Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, go back Monday morning. We did this for like 3 months. 3 months. And finally I was like, I can't stand to not live with her. I want her in my life. I know this is the one. I'd already nuked all the rest of the girls on the social media platforms, and we moved her, and she moved in.
Yep.
And then COVID hit.
And the rest is history. Well, there was one time that I became the best closer out of the relationship, and I have to bring this up. So in a relationship, people have rough patches. We're not perfect, right? So we broke up one time, and it was literally 24 hours. Said to him that, I'll let you tell the story because it was pretty good.
I came home, and it was kind of like one of those things where I guess I moved too fast. I got let my emotions get the best of me, and I was like, oh my God, not what am I gaining, but what am I losing? And I think in life, sometimes this is a precursor, so just pay attention. Sometimes we're not okay with letting something good go in order to have something great. Don't hold on to something that's just good. Be willing to give it up in order to really chase what you're truly made of. So the tie-in here is, I thought I was losing something great by settling because it was so fast and the abundance was there. The next morning, she is in the kitchen cooking.
Well, he had told me it was over and that he had moved too fast, and basically I went off on him. And then I said, okay, well, you're going to have to let me figure out myself because I just moved here. Let me get on my feet. Let me stay in the other room. We'll be roommates, and I will figure things out. Give me, 30, 60 days, and I'll be out of here. And then the next morning,
I wake up, and I don't really hear her. So I'm like, oh, maybe she
you heard
went to
me
the gym.
singing in the kitchen.
So I walk out of my room, and sure enough, she's in the kitchen cooking. It's one of those like see-through kitchens, the pass-through. And she's like, oh, good morning, roomie. What the fuck? Roomie. And she's like, do you want some breakfast? I'm like, what is going on? Well, she walks out from behind the counter, and she is like stacked, decked in lingerie, thigh highs and heels and lacy and trap doors. And I'm like, what the She goes, well, I figure since we're roommates, I might as well just, let you see what you're missing. I conquered that shit.
No, I think I did.
We closed each other. So anyway, long story short, now we're good. It's been 7 years. We got married out here in Arizona. And then how did we get to where we are now? COVID happened. Lost the restaurant.
You started working at a car dealership.
Yep.
Making great money. Met this crazy bald guy with moved out here.
It was training.
Yeah.
And now in Arizona, 3 years, been the top guy. I fell in love with sales. By the way, guys, if you really want to make the most money ever, number one, believe in yourself. Okay, that's the end all be all. Like if you had to write anything down, number one is belief. If you truly are not, like if you don't believe that you're capable, no one's coming to save you. No one is going to come in and whether Trump's elected or Kamala, whatever her name is.
Camel toe.
There's no one coming to save you, guys. Like
Sorry.
You have to be your biggest fan. You have to create a raging fan out of yourself so that you can dig and go for more. Secondly, sales and leadership is the key to getting wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Now, you may say fulfilling, wealth, it's all about money. No, it's not about money. Okay, Gary Vee said, what? Remember what I told you? There's some guy, this is crazy. So everyone's like watching social media and they want to be, this multimillionaire and this billionaire. I know a lot of millionaires that hate their life. They are so unfulfilled. It's the nastiest thing you've ever seen. Meanwhile, you're always on to this new, big, better thing. I want you to remember this. There's a guy right now in Kansas. He's got 2 kids. He's married with a wife. He has a minimum wage job. His wife is a teacher or gym teacher or whatever. Combined, they make $40,000 a year. That guy's happier than you.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Crazy, right?
Perspective. So we've been out in Arizona 3 years, absolutely crushing the sales space.
Well, and let me go backwards to go forwards. When you say you've been the top guy where you're at, and it has nothing to do with money. That top guy means he's the top guy because everybody wants to work with him. everybody wants to work with us. Everybody knows our ability to continue to nurture relationships. We're not transactional or relational.
Say that again. It's relationships.
Yeah, it's relationships. That when you say you're the top person, if you are considered the top person because of money, then you're not truly the top person, because the top person knows how to build and nurture relationships to the point where money is no longer an issue. Money is no longer even brought up. It just comes with the abundance of people. So, when you build such a strong self-worth, self-value, and know who you are internally, you build up those core values within yourself, and you do this personal identity audit, which we've been doing a lot lately, and you
massive
realize,
shout out and plug to PBD.
Yeah, massive shout out to PBD and Aaron. When you do this personality audit and you realize who you are in public and who you are in private, and when those two parallel and they match, you're doing the right thing, you will attract the right people. You will grow the relationships that God will put in your path to take yourself and your journey into the next phase of your life.
It's crazy. So we've started adding some mathematical equations. Like, understand this, guys. In a number scale, people lie. Now, remember this. I told you from the very beginning of this podcast, we'll never lie to you. I will tell you the God's honest truth, because the truth will always set you free. Numbers don't lie. People lie. Numbers don't lie. If you've ever wanted to see who you attract and who you want in your circle, you put either a numerical value or an addition, subtraction, multiplication, or divide. And I'm going to explain what I mean here. You attract what's good for you, right? So Matt's our camera guy. Matt is a plus and he's a multiplication because he adds value. He multiplies us. He makes us seem like, well, not that seem bigger than we are, but maybe that's what it is in social media. We are those people. Now, if you surround yourself, so let's say you're a plus, right? And you're a multiplication. You make me great.
Right.
You add value to me.
There's
a lot of people, right, but there's a lot of people, and you guys wonder why you're stuck. Okay, what's being stuck? You hang around with people with less value than you. That's a minus. And the crazy part is, when you settle for something good and you're not going after something great, you have to put that person's value as division. We're going to talk a lot about this. There's a lot of people out there right now that are wanting to divide people. That's it. Like, imagine a herd.
Well,
not a cult,
country.
but a herd of people, like-minded individuals trying to go after everything they want in life and surrounding themselves and leveling up. Then there's those people that are trying to divide everybody. They put you out amongst the herd. You're not part of it anymore. And they say, oh, the devil's going to pick you off, or you're not one of us, or get out of here. You don't think like us. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to. God made me individual and special because I have traits, I have special skills, and I have a niche that nobody else has. You don't want to duplicate me. If you guys had to crawl around in my mind
crawl in his head
for one day, you would be like, I don't know.
And true authenticity is valued. Like, and if authenticity is not valued where you're at, then you don't need to be there. We're not all meant to be exactly the same. God created each of us different for a reason. God gave us each talents and skills, or gave us the ability to develop skills so that we can go our own direction, not so that we can all go the same direction. If we were all the same, this world would not operate the way that it needed to. So this
is crazy. I thought about this the other day, and let me see if you think this is true. So I had someone reach out to me. Obviously, you guys know we're in the coaching space. We consult. By the way, we're not wearing our shirts, but that's that plug for Beverly and Robin, who are amazing, by the way. Shout out to Social Grenade, which we'll talk about.
We need to get them on the casting couch one day.
Yeah. Is that what this is called?
The Casting Couch Chronicles. Yeah.
Now, Matt's going to go ahead and drop in the wow casting couch music. So
maybe we need to start it out next time with some Marvin Gaye in the background. I'm just saying.
All right, so going back, and this is a learning experience for you guys. I know we were talking about how we met, but now is the fundamentals and executing of why we are where we are. Someone mentioned to me, they said, Chris, they reached out, Why am I not the top 1%? Why am I not progressing? Why am I not this? Think about this again numerically. It's called the 1% for a reason. If you're in a room of 100 people, there's only one. There's one that stands out. That's why it's the top 1%. There's 99 people in there who aren't going to get their freaking shot. Am I wrong?
Wait a minute. Light bulb moment. Sorry, have to bring this up.
No, I love it.
Shout out to PBD on this one. You just said something.
I said a lot.
I know, but
can we put a squirrel in here? Like,
oh my goodness. So you were the 1%. We had 10 people come up to us asking us who we are, asking what we did.
I am the one.
Because you are the one. Mm-hmm. So, and you have to see that in yourself that you are the one. And if everybody else sees it and you can't identify by looking in the mirror and saying, I'm the 1%, you're going to fail. You have to believe that you have it within yourself.
The second part of that, which I told the guy, I said, and here's the thing. We're all made differently. There's nothing wrong. Like, there has to be bus drivers. There has to be Walmart cart greeters. There has to be teachers. There has to be policemen. There has to be firemen. It doesn't mean that they can't be the top 1% in their field. But going to that event opened my eyes so much. You have to be obsessed. There's a lot of people that talk. Like, a dream without a goal is just a dream. Okay? Write that down. A dream without a goal is just, you're talking again. And going after this big life, if you're not upset, like, you guys have to understand, there's a level of crazy within every single one of us who truly want everything out of life. Like, you have to be fucking obsessed. You have to be crazy. You have to look people and be like, any point when they tell you, that's not for you, that's not for you, be like, bro, get out of here. Yeah. Get out of here. The people don't ride on your wavelength. It's not the same frequency. Have you ever walked into a room or had somebody walk into a room and everybody stops and goes, who is that guy?
If they're not on your frequency or bringing your frequency up, they don't need to be in the room with you.
So let me ask this.
I'm just saying, I can't be around people that are lowering my frequency. I have such a big vision, and for the both of us, that, and I think you would agree with this, that literally if they don't add value to me and my life and what I have going on, I don't want to be surrounded by them. I can't surround myself with negative people. I can't surround myself with people that aren't going to make me think on the level I need to be thinking on. Instead, they bring me down. If they bring me down, they're going to be out.
I'm gonna spin off that. I think a lot of things that have happened in the past 3 years and happening now and recently that have come to light. Number one is zero tolerance. Zero. Oh, dog's got a little thing. By the way, this is Gracie. You guys will see a lot of her at her little PJ. She's our little rescue. Guys, it's okay to have zero tolerance and to set your standard high. Don't ever conform. Don't ever be like, oh, well, I want to be liked by everybody. You don't sell fucking ice cream. You don't need to be liked by everybody. Maybe they do. Well, again.
Maybe they make homemade ice cream.
If you sell ice cream, hit us up. We'll get you on the podcast, on the casting couch. Maybe we can do something really cool with ice cream. That'd be really cool. But
we have a white couch, though. Anyway.
I think the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway from this is stop being tolerated when you should be celebrated.
Ooh.
That should be a bomb right there. A lot of you in life, what happens is you're being tolerated, okay? That's not a great working condition. That's not a great family position. That's not anything like that. You're too good, and you're too there's so much more to each and every one of us. We were built in God's image to literally go out and bring value and go into the world and spread. Like, I'm not even started. Like, on a level of 1 to 10, like, if I were to be rated, I'm like a 0.5 of where I'm headed right now.
I think you're a 2.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, but what I'm saying is, like, audit yourself.
2's marry 2's. I'm just saying. We're right.
We're 10s up in that.
Well, I'm.
we'd be breaking the freaking headboard. We're 10s in that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So let me ask this. So in the journey that we've been, obviously we go back to our relationship and how we got together. What's been your biggest like aha or takeaway moment in these 7 years of wedded bliss?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Always be supportive in public, no matter what the situation. And if I disagree, to disagree with you in private, and then us come up with a resolution to fix it.
Give me an example.
I think as a woman, excuse me, I'm not, allergies.
It's the dogs.
No, I think maybe our Mexican dog over there.
You're having a squirrel moment.
I am. So, like, if you say something off color, instead of me correcting you and being like, no, that's not right. No, that's not right. Instead, I just grab your hand and I squeeze it, try to get you to kind of, shut up or change your language. And if you don't, just sit there and hold your hand so that you know that I'm not agreeing with you. And then when we get in private, say, hey, I just want you to know I'm proud of you for talking. I'm proud of you for doing this, but I don't agree with what you said. I feel like it should have been done this way instead.
Okay, what kind of advice would you give? Obviously, since we're going into relationships right now, what advice would you give to people that have been together for a while and they're just kind of stagnant?
Have sex more.
That's a casting couch. That's a casting couch bomb.
I mean, spice it up, ladies. Dress up. Be his fantasy. Be his mistress. Be his wife. Be his girlfriend. Be his lady next door. Wear a wig. I don't know. Whatever he's into.
I like that. Well, what do you want to ask? What do you want to ask me? 7 years, there's probably, key takeaways and stuff.
Do you feel, this is going to be a tough one. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you change anything about us working together?
No, because... by the way, if you do, for guys and girls, if you do work with your significant other, your spouse, your side chick, your secretary who jumps under the desk during your coffee breaks, it's a.
I don't do that. I wish I could.
It's a learning curve.
It's a glass room, so I can't do that.
Every moment is an opportunity, and it's a learning curve for you to figure. Yes, hi. It's a situation to learn more about yourself and your significant other.
That's his mistress. That's
my side chick right here. This is Gracie Bell. But I think it's good. Like, I wouldn't change anything.
Really?
We love fair. We fight fair. We fucking nuke each other on a basis.
That's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better because we learned. It's an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Like, you've saved my ass in so many different situations.
Oh, yes, I have.
So find somebody who's not the same as you, okay?
Oh,
like,
weird.
very
Total
different.
Opposites with our work.
Right brain, left brain. She's very scheduled. She's very articulate. She's very structured. I'm like a fucking loose cannon. I'm just going to say it. I'm one of those I'm very powerful and I'm passionate. So I was a bartender for 26 years. Thank you. I was a bartender for 26 years, and I'm very, very good at being a chameleon, which makes me really good at sales. I can find a person, I can figure them out. It takes me about 15 seconds in order to know which way to go. The casting couch has now become PETA friendly. By the way, let's go off real quick. I want you to introduce them.
This is Pinto.
By the way, speaking of Pinto, I am 100% against illegal deportation or illegal border jumping, except him. He did come across the border.
Yeah, so we're not in favor of illegal immigrants. Oh my God, you are so sweet. Hi.
Pinto happened to show up one day and down in Mexico, and he needed a better life, and he's smarter than a lot of people. So we jumped in the car and all that stuff, but. Going back, another squirrel moment. You guys will see a lot of these. That's why this is real. It's not edited.
Oh, there they go.
It's not. Whoa! That's the casting couch, right? Oh God, we might to have a little Marvin Gaye moment here.
Okay, all right.
Gracie, what are you doing? What is it like to work with your significant other? You're gonna see it right there on the dog edition. So. It's a learning curve. Everything in life is a learning curve, okay? You're either getting sharper, getting duller, getting smarter, getting dumb. Like, that's all it is. And you take these opportunities to learn to become better in your situation, and that's all we're trying to do. Like, let's just be clear. I'm against social media. I'm against anything, podcasts, all that stuff. I'm like, what? I don't understand it. And then I would have people starting reaching out to me. Your story resonates with me. Like, every single one of you, I employ you guys to get out there and talk about yourself. The person that's been through the most is actually the most skilled and ready to help those people through that. Like, she was a victim of a high school shooting.
No, I was a survivor.
Well, she was involved.
I was a survivor. I don't like the word victim.
Okay.
So I'm changing my language. There is no negative connotation for anything you've ever been through.
I like that.
I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I'm a survivor of a high school shooting. I'm a survivor of alcoholism. I'm a survivor of a lot of shit that I should not be here to talk about.
That's awesome.
So because of that, I mean, once you kick me down, I land right on my back so I can look straight up and see the heavens and say, God, thank you again for hitting me on my back so I can look up, see the sky, and know I have one more day.
So you're saying if you fail, fall back on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
That's exactly correct.
What? You can't make this shit up. Guys, what's going on? It's your boy Chris and Crystal. Obviously, we're the Steinbrooks. I just want to thank you for chiming in. This is the first of many, guys. First of many. Casting Couch Chronicles. I know you may love the word. We're going to show you exactly why this will be the most powerful podcast on YouTube, on the internet. I'll see you guys at the top or from the top. Swipe up. Love you guys.
Let's go.